What's going on, everybody? It's Brendan here. Welcome back to Dad Planet. In this What's Sold on eBay video, we are covering bolos that I sold for the week of January 8th through the 14th. Very similar to last week, but in this video, we're going to talk about dragons, we're going to talk about footwear, we're going to talk about the military, and everything else in between. Let's get started. All right, so for the week of January 8th through the 14th, I did 2,500 in gross sales, just over 1,500 in net. And then my selling cost, a little bit on the high side this time around at 34%, 860. My average sales price per item, $57.23. That's not bad. Quantity sold, again, mimics last week, basically, with the exception of an absolute ton of footwear. I don't know where that came from, but let's take a look at some of them. All right, we're kicking it off with lawn chairs. Who knew it was lawn chair season? Start looking for these if you're in stores. It's one of those items that thrift stores don't seem to mark up, at least in my area. When I always talk about these things, it's always relative to the area that I thrift in. So your situation may vary, your mileage may vary, but look for these right now. It is in season. I see excellent comparables, and I'm gonna make a note about the comparables on the screen. I see a lot of free shipping. Guys, stop. You can 100% charge shipping, and buyers are going to pay for an item like this. They're harder to find. The older ones are in demand, and they're not making them like they used to. They're not manufactured in the manner that they were. So people have like an allegiance to these old chairs. They work for whatever reasons, and people are always going to pay shipping. As evidenced by this one, I got full price for this listing, $99.99. The buyer is $165.84 all in after shipping and tax. It only cost me $10, and I feel like you're gonna find these in stores for $4 or $5 a chair. So look for them. And if you find them, especially the aluminum ones, if you hit a home run in most cases. Sometimes you'll see the ones with like the wooden hand rests. Those are also in demand too. Start sourcing these and do not be afraid to charge shipping. Okay, a $20 North Face shirt isn't going to rock the market, but apparently, and according to the research that I did in store when I was sourcing this item and the comparables that I'm about to put on the screen, the North Face Raglan style t-shirt is a bolo. So this is a full length one. Sometimes you will say 3/4 sleeves. This is a full length sleeve t-shirt. Nothing more to it. It says never stop exploring, has fine alpine equipment on the front, and it's a bolo. So I got 20 bucks for it. I thought that was a fair price. The buyer is $25.30 all in after shipping and tax. It only cost me $1.99, but look for this exact style because 20 bucks, 25 bucks, it all adds up, especially if you're only getting them for $1 to $2. If you're finding them at the bins, you're getting them even cheaper. So look for this particular style North Face shirt, great bolo. We're not shaking things up here with a $13 sale, but a sale is a sale is a sale, especially since I got this at the bins. But what I really want to show you is J.E. Morgan thermal, vintage thermal underwear that both the tops and the bottoms is a bolo. They will sell, probably double the price if you find them new in a package. But I found this at the bins. It would cost me, 50 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents, something like that. And I had it listed for 15 and took an offer of 13. But these are the kinds of items that lots of other resellers are gonna pass up. So I'm sure that it looked like dirty and grungy and small and beat up and everybody passed it by, but I saw the tag. I'm gonna put that tag up on the screen for you. And I just decided to list it. It looked like the list to sell ratio was fantastic. And it's timely, obviously, because we're right in the middle of winter, but J.E. Morgan thermal underwear, that's a bolo that you should keep your eye out for, especially if you can get it for a low price because it looks like it sells both new and used. I tell my viewers often, make your purchase decisions based on logic, not emotion. And you know what? Sometimes I follow my own advice and sometimes I don't. So this one here, I saw this at a very late season garage sale. It was like an outdoor church sale, kind of at the end of the season. And I thought it was adorable. And I was like, should I give this to my youngest daughter? It's super cute. So it's like a kid's shepherd coat jacket. It had really cute little sunflower buttons on it. It was hand sewn. There's no brand to it. So it was like a homemade item. And I was kind of struggling for keywords outside of what I was given based on the tag that was attached to it and just what I could visualize. So it took a little while to sell, and that's okay. I ended up selling it for $21.24. And the buyer is $28.25 all in. It's super cute. It only cost me $1. I mean, it was like, what can I do? So I made an emotional decision. It ended up being shipped out to California. And if you do a lot less of that and more logic-based purchasing, you're going to do well. So, don't do as I do, or do as I say, not as I do. I don't know. Anyway, I thought the thing was cute, and it sold, and I'm happy, and I hope the buyer's happy as well. Okay, yeah, I sold just an absolute ton of footwear. This one here, a little bit perplexing because, it's the middle of January, and, this doesn't look like a January type shoe, I guess, depending on where in the world it was shipped. But this one here, Papillo, Birkenstock, the style is Namica. It's got like it's almost like a metallic-y, glittery type of finish to it. A really nice shoe and a good bolo. So I got $59.49 for this. The buyer is $75.87 all in after shipping and tax. It only cost me $4.39. I held on to them for a while. So it's like corked wedge style and really nice, but yeah, just selling them in January was weird for me, but I'm selling a ton of footwear, like tons of sandals. You're going to see a pair of sandals here in just a little while, but this is a good bolo. For me, it's a no-brainer because it's Birkenstock, so it's like going to sell eventually, and lists good inventory, and you never know when it's going to sell, so that one's out the door. See you later. So yeah, thanks for shopping my store. They're out the door. See ya. All right, I did a thrift haul not too long ago. Hopefully you guys watched that video. In that video, I talked about the Nike Cortez style. 1972 was the year that the Cortez was released by Nike. This is a reissue of it. I had it listed for $45. It sold for $38.24. The buyer is $56.32 all in. I got it at the bin, so it was only a couple of bucks. This style is still in demand however many years later, even the reissues. So I knew just based on comparable data that this was going to sell, and it would sell relatively quickly. I probably didn't have to send out the offer. It probably would have still sold for $45. If you find Cortez reissues, grab them. But if you are lucky enough to find a Cortez, an actual Cortez from the 70s and the early 80s, you're going to make a ton of money, assuming that they are authentic. I can't tell you that old school Cortezes are faked. It's possible, but I doubt it. So this is the kind of shoe that you'll see turn up maybe at the bins. I found an old pair of Nike like waffle type old school running shoes not too long ago at the bins that I sold for over $100. You guys saw that if you've been following me for a little while now. But Cortez, the old style, big money. Even Cortez, the new style, still a good sale. Next one, again, footwear all day long. Alegria, Carmen. This also had like a metallic shiny finish to it. Now the comps, when I eventually put them on the screen, you'll see the Alegria Carmen sandals do really well. In fact, they're selling right now. So source them now if you can find them now, even though we're in January. But this was like obviously closed-toed, like clog style, and it was the only one of a kind that I could find. So I liked them enough. The quality was high enough that I listed it, and I got full price for it, $29.99. $46.97. The buyer is all in after shipping and tax. They cost me $4.39. Cool looking style. And now if you find one similar, that's where the market's at. Maybe you could get $35 if you list them a little bit higher. I don't really know, but look for these, but especially look for the Alegria Carmen sandals. You'll probably find those maybe a little bit better, and they certainly sell through pretty quickly, even in the wintertime. This franchise, How to Train Your Dragon, their figures sell really well. The older figures, there's a few of them that you'll make a lot of money on if you find. This one here, this is Belch and Barf. The figure was in wonderful condition, and I did the math on it. Not every How to Train Your Dragon figure is going to bring you a ton of money, but this one I was confident enough to take a stab on it. So it cost me $3.99. I did sell it for full price, and I think this went overseas. So $29.99 is what they paid. They are $81.96 all in after shipping and tax. That includes $32.08 in import fees, whatever that is. Again, $3.99 for me, no big deal. eBay likes to charge you on the full total amount, right? Including shipping and tax. But what I'm noticing is they don't charge you on the import charge. So that's big, because that would make a lot of things that you ship internationally cost prohibitive. So even though that $32 was tacked on for the buyer, they did not charge us a percentage of the final value fee for that. So I've been paying attention to that, making sure that that's not slipping through the cracks. So far so good. No problems shipping internationally, but this was a good sale. Keep your eye out for How to Train Your Dragon figures, because again, easy sales for most of them. Okay, this is a Christian Dior jacket. Now the keywords I think mattered here. So what you have here is a very thin shawl collar. It was cream color, green, and then the shoulder pads were not removable, so they were sewn in. So in my description, I disclosed these things to the buyer. And Christian Dior, not easy to find these days, especially like in this like old school style. So it was like an olivey green, like a deep darkish color green with that cream collar. Size 6, I put measurements in there and it eventually sold. I had it listed for 150 bucks and it sold for 127.49. The buyer is 202.18 all in after shipping and tax. They also paid $34.81 in import fees. It only cost me $4.99 at a Goodwill. So for me, even with no comparables, no like really obvious comparables for this, I thought for $5 if I could get 150, like I don't mind waiting years to sell that. So, but it did sell within a couple of months. So great sale, good pickup. Christian Dior, just make it a habit to look it up because again, that jacket new was probably $500, $600, $700 when it was brand new. So look that stuff up, you might hit a home run. I try not to bore you with video game items because it's just so obvious. Like it's the #1 subcategory on eBay. It just totally dominates. Electronics, like as a general category, is the category that eBay does most of its business in. So this is a Game Boy Advance SP. It's like, it's the color red. AGS-003 was the model number on this. Now, the only reason I really have this in here outside of it, selling it for $100 was it was marked $5.99 at Goodwill, but it didn't have a power cord. So they had no way to test it. Usually these things get sniped, right? And they only go to shop Goodwill. Well, in this instance, because they didn't have a power cord, I decided to take a stab on it because I knew I had an extra power cord here at home. I always have a couple of cords. I just happened to get lucky with this one. About a year or two ago, I went to a garage sale and bought a bunch of video game equipment. The power cord for this unit was in that lot of items that I purchased, and I've just been sitting on it. So I got lucky, but I knew I had it. So I took this thing home, tested it, it worked perfect, and I got full price for it. $100, buyer is $111.65 all in. Again, only $6 at Goodwill. Home run, great sale, fun little story. But video games, like if you're not like looking every one of them up, I don't know what to tell you at this point. All right, great condition pair of Keens. Style here is Austin Brown Oxford lace-up shoes. They were in phenomenal condition. Now the Austin style, there are different iterations of it. And it does sell in like the 25, it seems like it sells in the $25 to $35 range pretty regularly. I felt because they were a size 13, which is a really nice size to sell on eBay, and the fact that the soles were like immaculate, that I could get a little bit more. So I wanted to test that out and I put it up for $40 and they sold for full price. So the buyer is $55.62 all in after shipping and tax. They cost me $6.99. They wrote it with the little aluminum pen on the bottom, so I had to use Glue Gun to get that off. Took me maybe 2 seconds, got my photographs done, in and out the door. So if you find Keen Austins that look like these, grab them. Depending on the condition, we're talking probably $25 up to $40. And maybe if you get a size 14s, maybe you could push it up another $5. I don't know, but for 13s, $40. Market's been set. Now you know. Last pair of shoes, I promise. Tons. I sold so many. Allen Edmonds. This is Numic style, and they are like a deep dark. I wasn't comfortable putting navy blue, even though I feel like you could probably get away with it. Like it's close enough to navy, but I put dark blue just to cover my bases in case somebody was looking for a really specific color. But these are amazing shoes, really well made, obviously with the red laces. I 100% could have gotten $100, which is what I had them listed for, but I did send out an offer and someone took it at 15% off. So they sold for $85. Buyer was exactly $99.99 all in after shipping and tax, and they cost me $4.39. I just sold, you saw in the last video, a pair of Allen Edmonds for around $45. They probably should have sold for $55. Both of those pairs came together on the same cart at a Goodwill. So that was a phenomenal sale. And the Numic style, big money. Again, color, it depends on the color, but it's like $100 and more for a lot of them. So keep your eye out for them. Dress shoes, they're selling. People are going to events and functions. We're out back in the world, despite what we're still going through. So keep that in mind. Look for those. I must have sold, I'm going to say 4 or 5, 6 pairs of sandals this week. I don't know what was going on, but anyway. Ecco, Yucatan, Receptor, women's. Now, I have experience selling a lot of Ecco from my old Amazon FBA days, so I know they're easy to sell, and especially pre-owned. But in the condition that these ones were in, I had them priced probably a little bit too low. They were great size, women's 7.5, good color, and I got full price for them at $35. And the buyer is $51.86 all in. They only cost me $4.69, but they're selling in upwards of around $55, $60 right now, even in January. So keep your eye out for this. Don't get them and let them sit in your death pile. Like, get them listed now, because clearly there's a market for them right now. Did you also not know that Patagonia makes combat gear? who knows? So I was looking for Patagonia items on Facebook Marketplace. I stumbled upon this. This is a level 9 pair of combat pants made by Patagonia, and they were basically brand new. I bought 4 pairs. I bought 2 pairs of pants and then 2 level 9 like combat shirts from the same person, all for $140 on Facebook Marketplace. So these were this was $35 a pair, and I've sold 2 of them. I had them both listed for $150, and I took offers of $136 for both of them. So the buyer for this one is $155.51 all in after shipping and tax. But this is something that now every time I see military gear in the stores, when I'm passing it up, I'm not gonna pass it up anymore. So I don't suggest you do it either. So Patagonia obviously will get you a very, very high dollar amount. And I'll put the picture up on the screen so you can see what the tag looks like or the stamp on the inside of the pant. But not only do they make it, but Arc'teryx makes it also. I think with the Arc'teryx brand, you can probably get even more money for their combat gear, their military gear, than the Patagonia brand. So this was all new to me, and if it's new to you, I hope you now look for all of these things in stores. It's basically every time I see a military pant or top of some sort, I'm gonna grab it and look it up, because Patagonia could be weaved in there, and where you might get $20, $30 for the top or the pair of pants, you get $120 to $130 if it's Patagonia or Arc'teryx. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed these 15. That's all I got for you. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Brendan here, Dad Planet, signing off. Hit that like button if you liked what you saw, and then please become a member of the Dad Planet family. Subscribe to the channel, helps me out considerably. But that's all I got in the tank. I'm out. Peace. We'll see you in the next video.